Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone has had an amazing day thus far. As you always know, this is Lunchtime Empowerment Talks with Dr. Vaughn. I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead. I'm super excited to share with you today. I'm going to just, as you come in the room, say hello. I'm going to share this on my page. Hope you have, hey, Felicia, how are you? Good afternoon. Hey, Octavia, how are you? Good afternoon. As you come in the room, say hello. Hey, Aunt Judy, how are you? Hi, Maurice, how are you? Listen, I hope everyone is having an amazing day thus far. It is Tuesday, and so you already know what it is. Hey, Janella, you already know what it is. It's Lunchtime Empowerment Talks with Dr. Vaughn. I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead. I am the owner of She's More Now and Dr. Shavonna Whitehead LLC. And it's always my privilege, honor, and pleasure to come and share with you. And so I'm sure that you already saw our flyer for today, and it's talking about learning to embrace seasons. Learning to embrace seasons. Hey, cousin, how are you? Listen, hey, Aunt Jackie. So when you're talking about learning how to embrace seasons, many of us, if we are true, we and some of us that there are believers that are listening on this, we have quoted for years to everything there is a time and a season, a place given under the heavens. But here's the conundrum to that. Most of us quote it, but most of us don't believe it, or most of us don't live by it. And when I say that is when you're talking about seasons, if you're going to say to everything there is a season, then why is it that we get so upset when the seasons change? Why do we get so bent out of shape when the seasons change? If we say to everything there is a time and a season, why is it that when the seasons actually do change, that all of a sudden our world gets flipped upside down? Or we view the changing of seasons as something that is detrimental or something that is a consequence, or we view the changing of seasons as something that is meant for our evil, when oftentimes the changes of season are necessary for our growth. The changes of season are necessary to produce. The changes of seasons are necessary for us to be everything that we're supposed to be. If we only lived in one season, can you only imagine how stunted our growth would be? Think about it. If you actually, hey Sherelle, how are you? Listen, if you actually begin to actually think about it, the seasons of life, you have to look at them differently, because in certain seasons, you're talking about in the wintertime, it's cold, it's dreary or whatever. But the wintertime actually prepares you to spring forth in the spring. It gives you the opportunity to rest. It gives you the opportunity to seclude. It gives you the opportunity to hibernate. Or, it gives the ground the opportunity to recuperate from the summer. And so when you actually look at seasons, you'll realize that seasons allow you to develop different things for different times. Think about it. Think about the seasons that you went in your life. If you actually go back with your mature self now and look at the seasons before, you'll realize that a lot of the seasons that you wanted to disregard, a lot of the seasons that you wanted to look at negatively, a lot of those seasons were necessary. A lot of those seasons were actually for your good. The season where it seemed like everybody left you. You know that season where it seemed like what nobody calling, that season when it seemed like what nobody talking to you, that season when it seemed like nobody would answer your call, the season when it seemed like everybody left you all by yourself, and you begin to fight depression, you begin to fight anxiety, you begin to fight abandonment, you begin to actually look at it as a place of defeat. But that was your winter season. That was your cold season. That was your season to hibernate, because the truth of the matter is some of us would not develop the way God wants us to if he doesn't put us alone. God had to make that season a season of alone season because you've been using people for crutches for too long. God had to send you through that winter season of being alone because you've been relying on people far too long. He wanted you to rely on him. How else could he get you to rely on him if not to pull everybody else away? How else could he get you to actually trust him unless he pulled everybody else away? I'm trying to tell you about learning how to embrace seasons. Because when you learn how to embrace seasons, you learn how to actually appreciate every part of your journey. Most of us don't like parts of our journey. Most of us can't stand parts of our journey. And I understand parts of our journey, some parts of our journey are complicated. Some parts of our journey are painful. Some parts of our journey are ugly. Some seasons were just you don't want to repeat them. Some seasons you don't even want to talk about. However, if you change your lens about that season, you'll realize that the person that had to be developed in that season, the person that had to be purged, or the person that had to be pruned, or the person that had to be crushed in that season, it was necessary so that you can be the person you are today. See, when we're in the season, we can't really see the season. Think about it. I don't know why I keep talking about winter, but think about it. In the wintertime, we complain about it's cold. We complaining that is this. We're complaining that this is not this. We complain about so many things. It gets dark too soon. We have so many complaints about the wintertime. But here's the thing. What if we learn how to embrace every season? So when winter comes, we learn how to snuggle up with God, and we learn how to be secluded and hibernate and allow him to develop some things so that when the season shifts and it becomes warm again, that you can spring forth. And then you can spring forth mature, healed, whole, and healthy. What if we looked at it like that? Or let me switch it to another thing. What if we looked at the season of fall, when things are falling away? Think the trees are now becoming bare. Now, it started off looking real colorful. Come on. You know how when fall changes and leaves change, it looks pretty. It looks vibrant. When the fall, it looks vibrant. You want to take pictures. It's so beautiful. But somewhere in the middle of fall, those leaves start falling off and the tree now is bare. It don't have nothing on it. What if we looked at that particular season when things start falling away? What if we looked at it as a blessing? What if we looked at the falling away as a blessing? Because here's the thing. When the falling away happens, why don't we look at it as, God, that means I'm not going to carry no dead weight around. God, that means I'm not going to carry no unnecessary stuff. That means I'm going to grow healthy. I'm going to grow healthy. I'm not going to grow retarded. I'm not going to grow sick. I'm going to grow healthy. What if we looked at it a different way? I want to challenge you. What if we looked at it a different way? What if we looked at it a different way? We got to learn how to embrace the seasons of our lives, because listen, God knows the ending before our beginning. You have to begin to actually learn stop talking ill of a season that you don't understand. Stop talking ill of a season just because it doesn't feel good. Stop talking ill of a season just because the person you thought would be rocking it out with you ain't rocking it out with you. It's okay. Don't despise the season, because guess what? That may be something that you need to actually begin to develop in that season. I went through a season of isolation. I went through a season where you had a great group of people all around you, and then you go through this season where you feel pain and agony and nobody's there. But it was in that season, it was in that season that I learned something about me. It was in that season that I actually learned the real me. What? What you saying, Dr. Vaughn? That's crazy. I know me. I've been me all my life. I know me. I've been me all my life. You can't tell me, I need a season of isolation to tell me about me. Yes, I can tell you that you need a season of isolation to learn about you. Because here's the thing. You've adapted to the you that you've learned how to be in certain situations. You have become the you that you've adapted to be to please different people. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I am not the only one that went through seasons of changing or settling to please people. I'm not the only one. I'm healed and whole, so I can talk about it. It don't bother me. But if I didn't go through that alone season, I would have ended up in a season called stuck. I can't hear nobody. If I didn't go through the alone season, I'm talking about learning to embrace seasons. If I didn't go through the alone season, I'd have ended up in a season called stuck. I'm trying to help somebody. If I didn't go through the alone season, I would have ended up or been in a season called stuck. A season called stuck. And some of us are in a season called stuck. We're just existing. We're stuck. We're not evolving. We're not growing or anything because we're scared to embrace seasons. There are going to be seasons where you got a lot of people. There are going to be seasons where you got to be by yourself. There are going to be seasons where you got to sacrifice. There's going to be seasons where it's going to be overflow. There's going to be seasons where God going to test you to see whether or not he can trust you. And then there's going to be a season of abundance. But here's the dynamic. No matter what season you find, Paul said, no matter what state I find myself, I've learned how to be content. You got to learn how to embrace the seasons as they come, but don't allow the seasons to change who you are. Some of us act real different in certain seasons. And I don't mean that in a good way. Some of us act real different in certain seasons. But what if you looked at it a different way? What if you looked at it a different way? Some of the seasons of our lives, God is trying to develop us. I mean, he really is. I mean, he's taking the vine, like the vine and the vine dresser. He has the scissors. He's trying to cut off all the dead stuff. But because you got so comfortable to that dead stuff being latched onto you, now you want to complain that God is taking it away. Hi, Danielle, how are you? So now you want to complain because God is taking it away. So the vine dresser is trying to cut some stuff away from you. He's taking you through your pruning season. Anybody that knows how to garden, when you prune it, you cut off the dead stuff so that the plant can continue to be fruitful. You cut off the dead stuff so that the fruit, the vegetables can continue to be fruitful. You cut off the dead stuff so that you can continue to grow. And some of us are in a pruning season right now, and God is trying to cut away the dead stuff, and you trying to hold on to it. He cutting it, and you trying to catch it before it falls. Because you've been so used to carrying this dead. You've been so used to carrying it. But what would happen if you just embrace what God is doing? You ain't got to like it, but what if you just embrace it? All right, God, you cutting it away. I don't understand it, but you know what? I'm going to embrace what you have for me because obviously you got something ahead of this. So I'm going to embrace it because you got something ahead of it. I'm talking about learning how to embrace seasons. Learn how to embrace seasons. And then let me see the flip side, because I don't want you to think that I'm only talking about learning how to embrace seasons when you got to go through something. But even when you learn how to embrace seasons of abundance, when God is blessing you, stop apologizing for it. When God is blessing you, stop apologizing for it. Stop apologizing for the way God has blessed you. Stop making excuses for how God is blessing you. You don't want to share how God is blessing you because you scared somebody else going to talk about what God is doing for you. Let them talk. Embrace the season. I didn't say put all your business out there, but I'm saying you don't have to be ashamed of God's having you in a season of abundance because they don't know about the season of suffering that you went through. They don't know about the season of pain, heartache, and agony that you went through. So when God is blessing you, embrace it. Sometimes we have the guilt. We feel guilty because God is blessing us. And if he's not blessing everybody in our circle and he's blessing us, but you don't know, everybody has a season. This just may be your season. And then their season may be next. So not only do you have to learn how to embrace seasons that are developing you, you got to learn how to embrace seasons where God is blessing you. Why are you ashamed about what God is doing in you? Do you remember the tears you cried? Do you remember the sleepless nights? Do you remember the agony? Do you remember the process God took you through? Why are you ashamed? I'm not ashamed of anything that God is doing in my life. Whether he is processing me or whether or not he's blessing me. Either way, I'm not ashamed anymore. Either way, I won't apologize. Whether or not he's taking me through because I need some development on this side, then guess what? I'm just going to own it. I'm just going to own it. If he say, you know what, Shavonna, you need to sit down for a minute because then I'm going to own it. I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm just going to own it, that this is my season of development, that God need to work on me. And then when I pass this season and God blesses me, guess what? I'm going to own that too. You have to learn how to embrace every season. Not just the good season, but embrace the bad season. Look at the bad season and actually say, what am I supposed to learn from this? Look at the bad season and say, what am I supposed to get out of this? What am I supposed to develop out of this? God, what? I don't want to do this again. So what am I supposed to develop out of this? Come on. Now I understand what Paul said when he said, I learned how to be content. I didn't say I like it. I didn't say I like it. But I've learned how to be content, and I've learned how to learn from every season of my life. I don't take no season of my life for granted, even the most painful one. I don't take any season of my life for granted, even the most painful one. Because even in the most painful one, now that I look back on it, I learned that I had strength that I never knew I had. But you know, when we're in the middle of the season, we can't really see it. So that's why I'm trying to help you, so you don't have to repeat seasons. Learn how to embrace the season. Embrace what God is doing. Whether or not, like I said, whether or not he's working on you or whether or not he's blessing you. Learn how to embrace the season. And then the next thing is, stop trying to rush the season. Okay? Stop trying to rush the season. Stop trying to rush the season. We're quick to pray, God, get me out. We quick. I done did it. We are quick to say, God, get me out. God, deliver me. God, take me out of this. God, remove them. God, get them. We are quick. But what would happen if you would pray and say, God, let me stay in it to get what I need and then take me out? Why are we rushing seasons? Think about it. How many seasons have you repeated because you rushed out of it the first time? How many seasons have you repeated because you rushed out of it the first time? And then on the flip side of that, how many seasons did you fall into because you rushed in it too quick? I told you it's both sided. How many seasons have you rushed in too quick and you made decisions too quick because you was rushing the season? Or how many have you got out of it too soon because you was rushing the season? Stop rushing the season. God is doing something. Embrace it. God is doing something. Embrace it. Come on, we all got it. You listen, you're not in it by yourself. I done got into some stuff too quick, trying to move the hand of God and rushing a season when God was really trying to take my time and develop, help me to learn. I just wanted to launch in the deep. But then also I done prayed to get out of some stuff that he wanted me to sit in for a little bit. Tell yourself I got to sit in it. Sometimes you just got to sit in it. Sometimes you just got to sit in it. Don't move too fast. Don't move too slow. Sometimes you just got to sit in it. You ain't got to have all the answers. I know you think you Superman, Superwoman. You got to have all the answers. Sometimes you just got to sit in it. I don't know nothing, God. I don't even know what you're about to do. But you know what? I'm just going to rest in this moment. Just going to sit in it. And so learning to embrace seasons is pivotal to how God is going to manifest things in your life. I need you to learn how to embrace every season. You can't say all things work together for my good, but when the tough stuff comes, you don't want to sit in it. If I'm looking at it that it's working for my good, I can sit in it. You got me. God, you got me. Yep, I'm going to sit right here because you got me. And so listen, that's what I came by to chat with you about, learning how to embrace seasons. Learning how to embrace seasons. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Stop comparing yourself to how somebody else's season is going. That's another thing that kills us. I'm not looking at anybody else's season. This is my season. I used to look at people's season, how God was manifesting in them in such a way that I lost focus of my own. I looked at everybody else's season and how they were progressing, so much so that I lost focus of my own and what God has spoken over my own life. my vision, my dreams, my goals. And they were so far behind because I was focused on whether or not my process was going like this. Sometimes you just got to sit with it. Don't look at nobody else's process. I can celebrate your process, but I'm really not looking at your process because I'm so focused on mine. I'm so focused on mine that and I'm good with my pace. You ain't gotta like my pace. They don't have to like your pace. They don't even have to like the whatever season you may be in. It's your season. That's your season. This is your pace. Whether it's fast, slow, whatever. This is yours. Stay focused. Sit with it. Don't rush yourself. Don't rush yourself. Don't rush yourself. So listen, I hope that you received something today. As always, we hop on here for about 20, 25 minutes for lunchtime empowerment talks, just to give you a little lunch around your time, just to push you and catapult you, because we believe that we grow together. We are strengthened together. We are empowered together. And listen, if I can't do anything but help one person, then I'm good with it. If I can only help one person, I am good with it, because I've learned some things. I want to share with you what I learned, and then I share with you sometimes what God is actually downloading on me right now for me. I share with you as well, because listen, this season, whichever season you're in, embrace it. The Lord got you. Embrace it. Embrace it. And listen, in case you haven't heard talking about seasons, so I did something in this season. And I am super excited about the timing of God. I'm super excited about the timing of God. Jerlene, my sister Jerlene, is on here. And I thought, talking about seasons, I thought somewhere about 5 years ago, it was meant for me to do this. About 5 years ago, I thought it was meant for me to do this. That wasn't the season and it wasn't the time. And that's why God didn't allow it. Because what I thought I had to say was from a victim's mindset. And it came from a lot of hurt. It wasn't from a healed place. So I would have been writing out of spite and not of power. I'd have been writing from a place of a victim and not from a woman that was whole. And so God wouldn't allow it. So you're talking about seasons. So guess what? I had to sit with it. And then God took me through other seasons that caused me to be alone, other seasons that caused me to be in pain, other seasons that caused me to be depressed, other seasons that caused me to actually have to be forced to face me. Because everything that happened in my life wasn't somebody else's fault. Some of it was mine. Some of it I had to own it. And so you're talking about seasons. And so God has allowed me in this season to actually finally write this book. It's called I Am More. It is available on my website, which is at the bottom of the screen, www.shavonnawhitehead.com. It is available for pre-orders. All of the orders will be shipped out June 12th. Please support me. Secure your copy on the website. Thank you so much to those of you who have already, when I launched it on Saturday, the Lord blessed in abundance. I was so shocked and amazed at the amount of people that supported and went straight to the website and started ordering. And I mean ordering 3 books, 4 books, 5 books. And I'm so grateful and so honored to God, because listen, I learned to embrace my season, even the season where I had to be alone and I couldn't express it to nobody. Because that season, I told y'all, helped me to learn the authentic me. Not the me that I put on for people, not the me that people wanted me to be, not the me that I thought people wanted me to be, but it allowed me the time to actually deal with me so I can show up as the authentic me. And so when you're talking about embracing seasons, embrace them. Embrace them. They are all necessary for you to be the masterpiece that God has created you to be. And so if you would, yes, head over to the website, secure your copy now. Thank you to all that who have. And listen, I hope that you receive something today. Share it with somebody. Help somebody to embrace their season. Love on them. This is also on our YouTube channel, streaming live even now. And so even if they don't have social media, you can make sure they head over to our YouTube channel, which is Dr. Shavonna Whitehead. And all of them are always there for anybody to see at any given time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And you already know, I'll be back here next Tuesday at 1 p.m. or whatever the Lord wants to share with us for a little lunchtime empowerment talks. I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead. And as always, I appreciate you. I believe in you. I support you. And most of all, I'm praying for you. Have an amazing day.